Hello and welcome to Medieval Dynasty. Oh, the other half just disappeared out there. We literally woke up in the corner there. So it's a case of, it's actually winter. It's the start of a completely new season. So for that reason, I'm gonna get some furs out of the chest here, because then that'll help us with the cold weather. I mean, I'm surprised I don't actually have any other furs yet. I don't think I'm actually at the ability to be able to create any myself, but just those alone seem to be enough, and you get them as part of the quest with Unigos, as far as I recall. But anyway, I've got some skills, it seems, that I need to allocate. So I've got a point that I can put into hunting. That'd be quite useful. So this is... That's interesting. So that's extraction, that's hunting. I always thought that was part of the survival. Was that the survival? Oh, that's a survival one there. Okay, well that's a hunting one. So, I mean, what I could do, for example, I mean, there's quite a few things there that are down here that you can choose. I mean, I quite like that one because I do actually get experience by using traps. Memory serves. So, yeah, our survival technology, one of the things it mentions is setting traps, for example. So for that reason, I think I'm going to put that into the Trapmaster one. So then what I can now do is I can actually create more traps. Speaking of which, we actually, yeah, so they're on set yet. So I think what I'll do is I should be able to create another trap. I don't know if I've got the resources on me to do it, but yeah, I've now got capacity, so I can actually do 4. Well, that's interesting. So I could do another 1 of each. Oh, okay, that'll be useful. So yeah, I mean, every time I'm using those traps, I get experience. I may as well use it. Now, I'm just going to check with the other half here. See how things are doing. Okay, so no issues that she knows of. Now, one thing I noticed when I started, we're up to chapter 9, and it says you need an heir. We actually don't need that much dynasty reputation. So if I go over to romance, it's not really anything left. I mean, I can keep getting her gifts because the affection that we've got there is very high, but it you know, over time that's going to drop. And what we can do is we can actually get her gifts to bring that back. But it looks like I've already asked her if she was wanting to have a child, so we're already at that point anyway. So I don't really need to do anything in terms of the heir, because I do need an heir. That's the way the game works. Is your character, your avatar, if you want, they've just got one life. Once they die, that's it. The game's over. But kind of like an interesting twist on this is the idea is you have children. And then, you know, your child grows up and they can take over the dynasty, which is quite interesting. Anywho, like I said, there's not a great deal more to do there, basically. We've just got to wait about 18 years after she's had a child, and then, yeah, that's our problem. So we basically need to stay alive for another 18 years. Anywho, why am I heading in that direction? Oh, yes. I'm looking for some bits and pieces because I need to make some more traps. That's one of the things I want to do. It's one thing I like about the winter time is it's easier to spot stones, for example. What do you need? Oh, we need a bow. Okay, I think we can do that. I think I've actually got one. Have I got one? Yeah, I'll give him mine. So I'm pretty sure we can always make a new one anyway. Nope. So hold on a tick. I thought we just had to give him a bow. Oh, it's the created ones. Right, so he wants a bow. So he wants a long bow. Oh, see, that's the problem. I did not know he wanted a long bow. Ah, struth. That's a pain. Right, okay, so that could be costly then, because it's a case I might have to buy one then. It's going to cost us 500 to wear. Ouchie. So it might be tempting to just find out how much it's going to cost, to be honest, and to buy one. Anyway, there should be somebody else. So yeah, if I don't get that fulfilled now, I'm in a bit of a pickle, because then it's a case of I lose reputation. And in my case, I'm actually trying to gain reputation. Speaking of which, what will I get out of that? And that's not, yeah, see, I'll get about 15 dynasty reputation, but I'll get 95 production technology. And what else have we got going on? Okay, so we need, actually I need a, there's the thought, I need a go back to Alwyn as well. So Unighost stories, yeah, that's still on hold. Right, okay, well let's find out over here. I think this is this Alice? Yes, what does Alice want? Oh, I don't know, well I could do. Okay. I've got 5 hours to do what? Right, I've got 5 hours, according to this, to hunt rabbits or wolves. I know which I'd prefer, quite frankly. It's an interesting it's like choice there, either rabbits or wolves. It's like, So I think that's what we'll do. We better get that done because we've literally only got 5 hours to do it. Ah, right then. Well, that took a lot longer than I expected. So, hand these over, I think. So we got 10 out of that, so that's not too bad. Yeah, so it's a grayed out or white exclamation mark as somebody who we haven't spoken to. So Marald, what does Marald need then? Okay, so you need food. You'll probably want berries knowing my luck. I'm not sure if I've got any. So he wants meat. Oh, he wants fish meat. Okay, so we're not at the point where we're making any or at least catching any fish. I don't have a like a cabin to get fish, and I don't have a spear either. Right, so quite a few things to do. So there's at least another quest down there, so I think I'm going to head down to there. I'm going to see if I can find somebody who could potentially make a longbow. Speaking of which, let's ask. Well, that was useful. By running around and doing next to nothing, got some more experience. It's basically I'm just getting passive experience off the NPCs here. $64 million question is, where's the other half? Because I want to ask her where I can find somebody who makes bows. Because it's going to cost me about 500 coins to actually buy the scheme. And it might be cheaper just to buy the actual longbow itself. Long term it doesn't make sense to, but... Oh, thanks. Alright, cool. Right, anyway, where can I find somebody who makes bows? Vendors or hunting? Yeah, the hunter. Okay. Lesniger. Oh, Struth, that's a long way away. Well, actually, it's not that far. I thought it was this one down here. It's not. That's just down there, so I think, okay, we'll head over there then. Let's see how much a longbow is going to cost me. Right, I've got over here with a bit of time to spare. So let's see. I think he sells... Edmund, what do you sell? Yes, it's not something I can buy from you then. Ah, I wonder if it's his other half, but yeah, there's a hunter one. Yeah, it's his other half. I remember meeting her as part of the quest. So what have you got? So a longbow is going to cost me 266. She doesn't have any fish meat either. Well, I wouldn't expect her to have fish meat, to be fair, but yeah, 266, and it's going to cost me 500 to get the blueprint to then make my own. And I've only got 210, so I think the incentive for me is to just get some more money and then I'll make my own. Right then, day 2. Oh dear, that doesn't sound good. So we're on day 2, and plan now I think we're going to head down to here because I do have to go and see Alwyn anyway. I could do with some fish and I could do with some manure, but I also need things to sell. That's a bit of a tricky thing because I don't have that much. So I think what I'm actually going to do first actually is gather quite a lot of sticks, because at least I can start making things like little buckets. So I've got some. There was only 9 that I found had been made, these little wicker baskets. I mean, I've got a copper hammer. I think I might just keep mine and sell the other one. I mean, the price seems the same. I don't know if I'll get a different price based on the conditions. So we'll find out. I've got a wooden hammer I can sell. And I've got some arrows, but not a lot. Actually, haven't said that. There might be more of an incentive to actually make the arrows because they're a lot lighter. I mean, while we're in the spring, in the winter, I should say, it's easier for me to actually see the stones than it is, you know, during other times of the other seasons during the year. It's the easiest time to find them, I find. So yeah, I think we'll gather quite a few stones because I'll get some experience from just doing that as well. Now the only question is how many feathers we've got though, because I need feathers, which actually got me thinking. And there's a fact that I get a lot of feathers by chopping trees down, for example. I get feathers because the lumberjack does the same. So actually there is a bit of an incentive to have chickens as well. I mean, I'm at the point because of the farmer still working where I can actually get geese instead, but yeah, I think it might be tempting to get some chickens at some point. Now, let's just have a look and see what it costs to make these stone arrows. So you need 10 feathers to get a stack. So how many feathers have we got is the $64 million question. Oh wow, we got a lot. If I get say like 200, what was the ratio? I think it's 10 to 10, is it? Yes, that means I'm going to have to get 200 stone. 200 sticks, right, so that's a lot of gathering I need to do. Right then, so now I've finally got over to here. I mean, I've managed to make quite a lot of arrows, and I've also managed to pick up a few other items that got made. So I think I may as well sell these off. Oh, it's the other one who wanted a quest, because I spotted somebody wanted a quest. What do you want? 2 dangerous animals who probably want to kill wolves at night or something. Again, it doesn't tell you what they are, but fair enough. So whatever it is, we've got to hunt them at night. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, because I was gathering all those stones and sticks, I've got another skill that I can apply. So I've got one. So that one's for the food and water loss. That one is, oh, athlete. Now I do quite like this one, so I think I'll go with that one because it's going to mean I should be able to run for longer. I won't run out of stamina as quick. Right, so what was that one? So that was the night hunt one. Doesn't tell us what we have to do. It's usually like either wolves and or those wild boars, but I'm looking for somebody I can. Oh, there she's gone in there. I want to sell these things so I can see how much money I can get for them. Right, so I've got, if I sell that, yeah, so the condition is impacting the price, which makes a lot of sense to be fair. Right, so I'll sell her, because I've got 2 copper hammers, so I can sell them. I'll get 2 wooden hammers as well, because I've left one spare over there. Oh wow, I've got 200 stone arrows, craggy. Right, I'm going to sell 2 and I'll keep just 20 for myself. I think that's enough. Ooh, 886. Oh, cool. So that was time well spent. Okay. And then I've managed to pick up an extra couple of wicker baskets. There's another almost 100. So I don't see any incentive to sell off resources anyway, to be fair. Oh, actually I've got 7, so actually I could sell 7 of them then. So it gives me 20 in total. Right, thank you. So if I'll unequip them, that gives me the full 20. Out of curiosity, have you got any fish on you? Fish meat, yeah, because I need 2 fish meat. So that means I've got enough for the starving hunter quest. I've got enough money for my longbow. Now, the question is how much fertilizer do I need though? Or in this case, manure. So this is up to, it's a bit hazy there. I mean, it's about 60 patches, 61 patches, and I don't know if she's necessarily used all of them. That's going to be a lot of manure. So there's your water skin. And out of that we've got 20 seed. Yeah, that was no problem. Yeah. Okay. So he's got an interest in our, the fact that we can do our own hunting. He's getting quite interested in that because he's getting a bit bored on the fields basically. So we've got to wait. Oh, we've only got to wait until tomorrow. Ah, right then. So here's. Oh, oh dear. You're not sounding too well in this weather. So yeah, so this is Marald, so I can hand over the actual meat that he wanted, and that'll get that quest completed. So that got us 30. So that's not bad actually. So if we head over to the workshop, I should now be able to pay for that scheme. Yeah, she's still busy in the fields, that's good. And I can also, while I'm here, I can actually convert this manure over to fertilizer. Ah, there you go. Night hunt. So we either need 3 bears or 3 wolves. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Actually, since it's this late, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build this sewing hut. I mean, I may as well, to be honest, because it's that's going to save me from having to actually buy any flax. So it makes a bit of sense, really, because it's only just gone. Like last time I checked, yeah, it's getting towards about 1 o'clock in the morning. It shouldn't take me that long to get an actual sewing hut built, because that's the workshop, that's the smithy. So I think I'll build a workshop here. And a workshop, a sewing hut, so I need 8 logs. Right. Right then, so we've now got that finished. So that's our sewing hut. So let's see. So this allows you to turn. Okay, so I've got to actually buy the actual schemer as well. So buy that. So you can get one linen thread out of 10 stalks. So I do have some stalks. I mean, yeah, we're into the 3rd day. I think it just dawned on me, it's like Amelia's actually all the way down here. I want to go over to Rolnicker because I want to see if I can get some more manure. But I'm also going to have to go all the way back to Rolnicker. Because if I don't finish the quest, I'll end up losing Dynasty points, and that's the very thing that I need. It's not in here, is it? Yeah, the flax stalks are actually in here. Let's see if we can grab all of them. So I should be able to convert. Well, there's no point bringing 63 because it's got to be multiples of 10. So we'll convert all of these over to linen thread. So yeah, so out of that 1 harvest, I've got enough to make 6. So the goal really is that second field I want to dedicate it just to flax. Then I can make a lot more linen, and I'll get. So that's supposed to be quite a lucrative trading option. But this will get me enough to make. Actually, this will get me enough to make 2 longbows, so I can actually sell my other bow and keep a longbow for myself by the looks of it. Right then, so that's the trap sorted out. So I should have what's needed to make 2 of these. So I'll keep one for myself, and I think then I can sell the normal bow. So that'll solve that quest. I do want to go to Rolnick because I definitely need manure, and I suspect because this is the last day, I don't know if our farmer's going to be able to get all of the fertilizer down in time and get the actual carrots planted in time. So it's a case of there's going to be a mad rush probably on this last day to try and get back. Where is she up to actually? Interesting. So she's almost finished that field there, which is pretty good. She hasn't even started the fertilizer. When I checked, I was sure she was only at the point where she only needed like 3. Yeah, I thought she just needed those little sections there doing. Let me just double check. Yeah, so she just, that's a bit deceptive actually, because it's not a full 16 by 16 field. So she just needs those done, and then she'll either then start doing the fertilizer, or she'll do the fertilizer first. I still haven't figured out if there's a particular priority. I think, yeah, it's Barnum I need to give the bow. So there's your new bow. Only just getting started, really. Out of curiosity, ooh, 4935. So there's not that far to go, but I don't think I'll be able to get the whole lot done in this one season, I suspect. Right then, let's go and have a look and see what this quest is, because I'm literally on the last day. So it's got to be something that I can do pretty quickly. Otherwise, yeah, if you don't do it in time, you lose out. You end up losing Dynasty reputation. What do you need? What do you need? Put a place now. Something. Ooh, could be tricky. We'll find out. Oh, so actually that's not bad. It just wants 2 wooden spears. That's easily doable. I'll just chop this tree down here. Hope nobody minds if it falls on their house or shed or whatever it is that's near us. One thing I find quite amusing, I mean, I'm chopping like trees down in the middle of the night. And I don't think anybody seems to like be complaining. You think, you know, that's something that's going to keep people up at night, and yeah, they're not really fussed. Right, so we just wanted 2 wooden spears. I mean, this is like crazy, but just out of curiosity, what we're going to get for that? Ooh, wow, 30 Dynasty reputation. Considering the other things I'm doing, this is a lot more rewarding if you just have to Dynasty. So there you go. Just be careful with them. Right, in which case I'm better go off and see Amelia, and then that gets. I think I do need to still see Alwyn, but I want to make sure I see Amelia. Now the trouble is, I don't see me being able to get enough done in this last day of the season, so we'll probably have to get into spring and find some others, because I'm not seeing anything other than all the way down in Horniger and Jezrika, which is a bit on the far side, I think, given that we're only in the last day. Alright there, so there's Amelia, so we'll hand that quest in. So I got rid of her wolves. So I may as well sell off some of the things that I've brought over. Right, so how are you doing then, Alwyn? Ooh, hello. What have you been up to? Oh no, you need a new hoe. Oh dear. Okay, so we need to get your hoe fixed. Oh, so that's got to. So we've got to go over to the fella boar over there. So he's given us some money to go and get his hoe fixed. The only trouble is it's a bit late. And as much as I want to do that, I'm going to head back to the village. Now I've had to play through another season. I've gone all the way through spring, and we're just about to finish this final day and do the summer. The reason for that is we still haven't finished chapter 9. I mean, I've managed to get enough Dynasty reputation. I was quite lucky because when we transitioned from winter to spring, a nobleman had come by, apparently dropped their bag of gold coins on the ground. We returned them and we got 100 Dynasty reputation. So that completed that part, but we don't still have an heir. So we're just going to go to sleep now, and this will take us out of spring and into autumn. I mean, I've actually been doing quite a lot of work in the fields. I say I have, it's mostly in Aradka. So all of these, the oats, the onions and the cabbages were planted in the spring. All of the fertiliser I've been getting from the pigs, because we've now got 2 fully grown pigs. They matured in this spring, which made sense because they were born in the spring of the previous year when we bought ours last year. 2 little piglets. They're now adults. They matured in the spring of this year, and they've been producing manure for us since we've been just basically using our own fertiliser. Now the carrots, they were actually planted in the winter, so they're gonna actually have all of these are gonna actually be ready for harvest shortly. So that's quite good. Field number 2, I've been maxing it out as best I can. I only had so many flax seeds. I mean, I could have gone off and bought some more flax seeds, but once these, you know, get harvested, we'll end up with tons of flax seeds. So I thought, well, I'll just leave it. It's not that big of a rush anyway. But yeah, it's all a bit haphazard because I think Naradka, she did one side and I did the other because she was getting so far through ploughing the fertiliser in and then putting the seeds in, and that was on the last day. So I started finishing it off, where I started putting the fertiliser in, then she started ploughing it, and I started doing some of the seeds. So it was kind of like a, you know, a bit of a joint effort to finish all this off, but it's been going quite well. I mean, that field there, she's built that out. She's you know, she's ploughed that, and but I need to destroy that one. Because the plan would be to, I think, probably to get some apples, pears and that sort of thing, because you can grow your own orchards, which is quite good. But the thing is, we're going to go to sleep going into the next season, which is summer, because there you go. We've now completed chapter 9 because we've now got an heir. And that's our heir down there. that's a case of we've now got a baby. That's like the take on the game, is that it's unlike other games where you've just got this protagonist and one character, your avatar. The idea is, well, you play the game, but you could die, and if you die, that's it. You don't respawn or anything like that. So it is a kind of like a hardcore game. But there's this interesting twist where you can have offspring and then they can take over the dynasty. The only thing is, I mean, we've got to wait for that baby to, I think, probably get up to about 18, I think, before they can take over anyway. But if we go into a list of people, so that's Jiran, so we've got this is our heir. So, oh, that's interesting, that. So we've got a little boy. His mood's going up, which is a good thing. Everybody's mood seems to be going up, presumably because of him, I would imagine. But that's not bad. I mean, he's got level 3 in extraction, he's got level 4 in survival, and level 3 in production. So yeah, I mean, he could end up being quite good in different sort of things. That's it. I'm not quite sure, because I'm not getting to that point where you actually transition to the next generation, I must admit, because you don't, as an NP, well, you yourself don't have these skill limits as far as I'm aware. You've got these skills, I must admit, but here you're dealing with it's like an NPC, so seems a bit weird, I must admit. I'm not really sure what happens, because if you become them, essentially, so what happens then? Do they get your godlike skills? Do they inherit your? It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, it's a long time off, I must admit, to do that. I mean, I'm not playing the game in this sort of like rush to sort of like get all of these things maxed out, because I could. I mean, like technology-wise, for example, farming. Big problem here is I'm way off being able to produce a stable to get a horse, for example. I've got nowhere to. I could go and try to buy a horse, but there's nowhere for it to live. There's nowhere for it to be fed. So that's a bit of a challenge. But you're talking about 2,000 points, and we've only got about, what, less than 690. So there's a lot of farming work. But I don't want to go into the game of just building a field, ploughing it, then destroying it and starting over again. It just kind of, to me, it's kind of like spoiling it doing it that way. I really like the game because it's very, very immersive, especially with this sort of like twist, and I like this interaction with the NPCs and so on. Every now and then, again, I've got to come back and make things, because these NPCs can only produce so many things at a time, and so every now and again people are running out of like tools and so on. So I'm keeping an eye on here in case anybody's tools break. So over here, for example, right, that's the other twist. Our other half is now out of production effectively, because she's got to raise this child for the next 2 years. Once the baby reaches 2, she can come back to do her work, but it means I've got nobody chopping down the trees, the logs, which means I need somebody else to take over her role. So we're going to have to go out and hire somebody else. Which, out of curiosity, yeah, I've got a bit of room down there. So I've got a bit of room in 2 houses, so it means I need somebody who's good on extraction by the looks of it to replace her, at least temporarily. I mean, ideally I'd probably want, I mean, the idea I think would be she comes back to do her job in about 2 years' time. So really I'd be looking for somebody who's got that extraction skill, possibly something else. So for example, I mean, I've got nobody who's working in the sewing area, for example. I've got a sewing hut, nobody's working there. Now to do that I need somebody who's got a production skill, or a crafting skill if you will. So if I can find somebody who's good at extraction and good at production, what I could do is bring them in to do the woodshed work, and then I'll transition her back to doing that. But you can put, you know, I mean, you can always put people into different jobs. It just depends on how good they are at that specific job. It's going to decide how quickly they'll produce things. So for example, she's got a relatively low skill in diplomacy, for example. So if I understand it correctly, I think the diplomacy makes more sense for the merchants when you're selling things. So she wouldn't make a good merchant. She could start off and then she'll just get better over time. But you're paying that initial price of having to wait for her to train up, if you will. Yeah, I mean, I've already got Alice. I mean, technically I could take her out of the extraction hut and get her to focus on the that piece of work, I suppose. But then I'd have to get somebody back in to do her job. So it's, yeah, it's always like juggling things. And there's always the potential for all of these to have children as well. So there's quite a bit of juggling going on here. But I think that's pretty much going to be it for this episode, and really for this playthrough, because by the time this video comes out, the full release of Medieval Dynasty should be available. I think it's actually on that day that comes out. And there's not much incentive for me to continue this, because from what I've read of the release notes, yes, you can potentially load in a previous save from this early access, which is what this is. The problem is, though, that you might have some problems and you'll miss out on some content and so on. So what they really want you to do is to just basically start from scratch, because this is version 0.605. We're going to get this full release version 1.0. So yeah, I think I'll probably call time on this playthrough, and then when we get the full release, I'll just begin from scratch. So thanks very much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed it. Till the next episode, thanks very much for watching.